Greetings, Metanthropes, and welcome to Meta Monday, episode 58. I know it's Friday, but still, welcome to Metanthropes News and Updates, episode 58. Rather, I'm your host and narrator, John, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, QP the Orchestrator, Lefteris. Greetings, bro. How are you doing?
Hey, bro. Nice to be here. I just finished the 3-day coding marathon session on the new upcoming build. I feel exhausted, but also at the same time, so excited with what's we've been working on. And today's an opportunity for us to give you guys a status update on where everything is and what's coming next very, very soon. As you can already see on your screens, we have some amazing visuals. Would you like to say a few words about them, John?
Yeah, these are like previews of the 3D cutscenes that we're gonna introduce with anthologies created by our very own 2D storyteller. This is just a snippet from each of the new worlds of anthologies, from the ancient library of Alexandria to the modern corporate tower of Oneiros, and last but not least, the environment of the alien exoplanet with an open portal and one of Samsil's tentacles speaking out. Today we're gonna talk about as you said, the future. Let's start with some good news. Thankfully, one of the challenges that we faced last couple of months or so. Our cover artist is back on track when it comes to the fulfillment of the Metanthropes anthologies covers, and although we had something like at least 2 months of delay productions in the pipeline, thankfully, and everything is back on track, and hopefully by our next newsletter and our next live stream we will have the covers ready to show you, or the covers for Astral and Nether, that is. And as of the rest of the content, 2D Storyteller delivered everything, and we are already in the process of uploading them and resizing them and doing all the fixing everything to be perfect and polished for our modules. I'm gonna show you pretty soon some additional screenshots or basically pieces of art that are gonna be throughout the modules and the books. But before we do, greetings, fellow Neil, our beloved MVP. Let me see what. Yes, our first VIP, not MVP, VIP. Beloved buddy, hero
He's also
of
an
all
MVP,
time,
and
he's also an MVP and an all-around good egg. Huzzah! Nice of you to join us, and I hope you're excited as we are to talk about all the upcoming changes and updates to our game and developments. But first, let's tackle a bit about a transparent issue. We want to be transparent around it. Initially, the very first estimated delivery of all the modules and all the content, more or so, for the Metanthropes anthologies Kickstarter was March 2026, this month, and we have to be honest that we grossly overestimated the scope of work and all that needs to be done.
Underestimated, not overestimated. We overestimated our capabilities to deliver.
Right. Basically, the thing with anthologies is, although it's a very cool idea with unique worlds, unique environments, so many characters, 3 books, it's basically what we should have spread out in 3 campaigns. We did it in one, so we have to deliver 3 times the work in 1 year, and we have been working 3 times as much to compensate and to deliver it. But yeah, not everything will be published, at least not in March, but we have some good news about where we're going. So we just want to be transparent about it, and we don't want to fall into the trap of adding so much stuff, so we keep delaying, but instead we have a plan that we want to share that begins very soon. And the truth is that we have upgraded the project quite a lot, from a lot more, loads and loads of content, now that we're not defined in the limitations of and the restrictions of a zine, and now we're calling them books. We can introduce many more pages, many more characters, storylines, content. And when it comes to the virtual tabletop, we're gonna upgrade with cool stuff like the ambient sounds that we already mentioned, but so many other cool stuff, such as modular maps that you can take all the assets that we have and create your own maps for the virtual tabletop version, audio and visual effects, and many other cool stuff that we're gonna talk about pretty soon. So how about QP? Bro, you tell our dear friends, dear Metanthropes, what's coming next month, this April 2026?
All right. Well, we'll start by saying, first of all, that we have been, we switched gears and went full speed on implementing a lot of the things that have been on our roadmap for a very long time, to upgrade and bring to the latest and best Foundry standards. And we decided that the next release is going to be focused on version 14. Version 14 is not stable yet for Foundry. We expect it to become stable in the next month or so. We're already, I believe, on the 2nd or 3rd testing build, and the type of issues being reported lately are not so, major. So given our experience with previous releases, it looks like probably mid-April we're gonna have probably early May, but we're getting very close to version 14 becoming the new stable release for Foundry. Metanthropes will be fully supporting version 14, and we're going to be taking many of the new features that it introduces for us are crucial technology elements of being able to create our vision and showcase to you guys a really immersive tabletop role-playing game experience by playing Metanthropes. And some of the functionality that version 14 introduces for us is going to be key in order to be to enable us to facilitate our vision for how the game is going to be. So version 14 for us will finally introduce the long-awaited new user interface. We've hinted and shown you a bunch of previews in the previous months. We're very close to finalizing the 80% of the UI will be ready in the next couple of weeks, and then what will remain is going to be the new character sheet, which we're gonna talk a bit about that specifically in a little bit. But you guys are gonna get the new user interface with the next release. You're gonna get the new actor data models. You're gonna get all the new cool actor active effects. You're gonna get many cool stuff, including, and this is one of the major points for version 14, including a new VFX built-in engine. Metanthropes will be able to create some amazing, unique visual and audio effects that will trigger when you play the game, and you won't need any third-party module, any kind of subscription or anything like that. You will just need to grab Foundry, install Metanthropes, and have fun, including audio and visual effects for the game. And this is a reality for us because Foundry decided to include this new experimental visual effect engine in the core Foundry that comes with version 14. So everyone out there will have access to this engine, and we took the time to hence the 3-day coding binge coding spree. Previously I took some time to read the documentation, play with it, understand it, and I feel very confident that by the time version 14 goes to stable, I feel very confident that we're gonna have for our alpha testers out there some amazing cool stuff for them to play with, configure, tweak, and we hope that we gather your feedback in how these things are going to end up being shaped and being as dynamic as they should be. So it's not like we have one animation and we play it over and over and over again, but we have an idea of an animation, and whoever is activating that meta power, depending on what target we're targeting, how many levels of success we have in our rolls, how much damage we end up dealing, all these things will dynamically change the animation at the time that the animation is happening. So this engine is truly amazing, and we've had a lot of fun playing with it. But
yeah,
before we
Neil is also excited on chat about what's coming.
Yeah. I think Neil, as I know some of the games you enjoy, I think you will see a feature that you couldn't imagine that Metanthropes could include. So
starting with
I'll give it back to you, John, and then
starting with April, we're gonna release the alpha version of Metanthropes Anthologies Nether. We're not gonna do them all at once. that won't be wise for us. But you very soon you're gonna receive the alpha version. All the homebrew owners and those who have alpha access to our modules of the Nether book, the Nether world, and they will be followed by Astral and followed by Ether. So what exactly will it entail, and what will be missing from those alpha modules? They're gonna have the scenes, the maps, all the maps and variations, the journals with all the text, all the info, all the stories, factions, dimensions, characters, lots and lots of stuff about characters, scenes with narrator tooltips and how to use the meta power in each scene. Very thorough, very original stuff that I really haven't seen anywhere else, but I always wanted to see as a narrator when reading a supplement. Resolutions, multiple different endings and ideas of how to form your own ending without any fixed point of view, and railroading, as they say, without railroading. And we're also going to include all the actor tokens for all the actors, ambient sounds, and some very cool effects built in. Now, what's the main thing that we will request and want from our and beg on our knees, basically, our backers and alpha supporters, is for their feedback. That's why we're releasing it now. Ideally, this is not the time to start your own anthology saga, because the character sheet won't be fully implemented. Lots of things will be like with construction yards and helmet zones and signs everywhere, work in progress and stuff like that. But All the text and the ideas and the maps will be there. So all the narrators, really, all the GMs who will be accessing it can start on working on all those, how they can run those stories in their mind, and how like their imagination brewing and have like the churning some good ideas around. So we want to hear your thoughts about the scenes, about the characters, about the plot twists, about the faction details. Basically, up to now, we only had to show you when it came to world building and mythos of the world, the introductory story, which is ambiguous, a bit mysterious, but it doesn't really give you anything. And this is the bread and butter. This is like the meat. I don't know which expression to use. This is the essence, the very essence of the game. So I personally have been working for them literally every day for 1 year, but in truth it's been ideas that have been brewing for more than a decade. So it's finally going out there, and I am begging on my hands and knees for some feedback from our alpha playtesters. The plan is that 1 month after, we're gonna give the same access to all our beta supporters, have access to the core game and not just homebrew, not only the homebrew. And 1 month followed by that, we'll give them to all our all our backers from the Kickstarter module. Now, the things that will be missing from alpha, and we're gonna go step by step to beta and all the access to every backer, will be the final edited and proofreaded version of the journals and the text, an introductory story, very short story, maybe a couple pages long for each of the zines, books we upgraded. We might include additional token artworks and original artworks, but we have to decide upon ourselves how we're going to spend the extra budget for an additional budget for the project, and talk things through with our creative director, including some additional particles and other visual effects, such as artworks. And there's not going to be access to the modular version of the maps for the VTT, so you're going to have the maps that are going to be on the printed version, but up until the full release, we're going to give you the anthologies modules will have the modular map implementation, which means you can take a corridor here and change the room and do something else and change the environment, so you can create any combinations and all sorts of stories that you want. The tables, rollable or not, are not going to be included in the first release of the anthologies. We need a little bit more time to work on them. And new content when it comes to new possessions and new roleplay options, as new metamorphoses, new regressions, and stuff like that. They're not going to be included, so sorry, no possessions. We can't do it, no possessions, but they're coming pretty soon. Cutscenes, the 3D cutscenes that we imagined, we want to make them pretty spectacular. So even if we have the 3D assets, we don't want to just give you those and call it a cutscene. Imagine something like a cinematic experience of a video game, more or less. Maybe I shouldn't hype them as much, but we haven't really finalized how exactly amazing we want to do them, so we need to work on them a little bit more. And last but not least, all the legendary protagonists, aka the content that is created by you, our backers, with your own unique protagonists, with their own tokens, bespoke appearance and stories. This obviously doesn't, we're not responsible for that. We're not the only ones who can, we need to collaborate and work with our players who have chosen these options, these reward tiers. So we can't wait to start playing anthologies with them, and then eternalize the characters into the printed form of the book and the modules. So QP, this is the plan that we're feeling comfortable and confident to share with you right now. But we also have a little treat for those that stayed up until the end of the live stream. Isn't that so? Just a little treat.
Well, I think Neil will definitely enjoy this, and what we will. I'm assuming, John, you're gonna switch your
Yeah,
scene
I'm
and
switching
load
right
up
now.
a demo world we have set up here. And what we have for you is a very quick demo of what we were talking earlier about the new visual effect engine. So just to give you an idea, right now, as you know, a lot of the meta powers, actually all of the meta powers and possessions that deal instantaneous damage already apply the damage to the arctors that you target. Essentially what we will be giving in the next build to all the homebrew owners to playtest, and this will require you to have your alpha settings enabled. We'll give you out some guides when the time comes to actually show you exactly how to play with this, because this is experimental. As I was saying earlier, this is not a fully fleshed out module of Foundry, a feature of Foundry. So we expect the Foundry to iterate this new engine and change things. So we don't want to solidify anything before Foundry tells us that this new feature is now considered stable. So it will, for the near future, it will require alpha access. So it will be only available to those of you that have the homebrew module enabled. And what it will do, as I said, for all the meta powers and possessions that instantaneously deal their damage, it will also trigger an animation.
Yeah,
and,
should I roll it?
Both visual and audio. Sure, you can go ahead. We're gonna play it a couple of times.
Yeah, we don't have all the particles, and this is just a proof of concept. But the concept is that everything that does damage, you only need to choose your targets. Let me choose this malevolent spirits over there, and I will activate my meta power. It was success, and when I click activate, drum roll. This is obviously a particles of, like, imagine like a lightning animation and sparks going everywhere. But as you saw, it also shows the damage done to this target. So let me roll another one. I need to spend some destiny, but I am successful. So imagine this will be lightning effects instead of the icon of the meta power, and this will be like sparks flying around, and the elemental damage 39 shows like a video game style number, much like let's say Diablo, that shows the numbers. Shout out to Neil. I've heard plays a lot of Diablo. So yeah, well, interesting comparison.
Yeah, the idea is that the
Thank you,
the engine
Neil.
is already in place to do this, and which means that it's up to us now to work on the animations themselves. So all the sprites and the timings and the animation, actual visual effects, how they look like and how they're optimized to perform, because we want to make sure that these things can scale and play nice to even a great PC, but also a potato PC. So there's a lot of work to optimize this, as you can imagine, but there is also a lot of room for us to figure out exactly how we're going to make this modular, because what we would like is to be able to give you guys a little area of the UI that you are very easily able to customize and mix and match the various animations that we're going to provide you. Uh, we also want to be able to create a way for you to create your own animations if you're good at doing this kind of stuff, import them in the system, and then have it configured and have it available to apply as an effect on your custom meta power or your custom possession or things like that. And of course, because as I mentioned before, these animations are essentially drawn, let's say, at the time of the dice rolls, their visual and audio effects can also be affected by the actual outcome of the rolls. So if you score a critical hit or if you accumulate more than X amount of levels of success, you get some additional animation or a bigger explosion, or things of that nature.
That's
At the same time, you can say,
it's amazing.
yeah, I mean, in the past, when we run our own sessions, sorry, we've always used modules that would slightly increase immersion. Things like blood splatters, for example, okay? And that meant that we had to find a module that would do that, configure it properly, yada, yada, yada. Right now, with this engine, all we need is to define how blood looks for each type of actor, and then simply include that in the actor definition in the system. And whenever that actor gets damaged or has a bleeding condition, this animation fires and we get the correct blood type and the correct blood splatter according to the actor's species or whatever. So as you can imagine, this is only the beginning. This is, as John said, really just a proof of concept for what we can do, and we are already able to scale the animations according to the damage or according to number of targets and things like that. What we really want to do is hear your guys' thoughts and feedbacks. What would you prioritize in terms of delivering an amazing experience for Metanthropes? And your feedback, as John said, is what we live for, what we really, really want in order to make sure that we incorporate it. This is the best time to incorporate your feedback, both in terms of the story elements, the characters, the kind of macros and automations you guys want to have available. This is a great opportunity and timing.
Excited and in love with the idea of, depending on the level of success that you accumulate, the visual and audio effects can change and include like more lightning arcs, more sparks and jolts for a lightning bolt. This is absolutely
not just
immersive.
that. Think of, for example, attacking with a katana. After some levels of success, you have the maimed condition being applied, which means that you are dismembering, your opponent. And based on the roll of where you hit your opponent when you attacked, whether it was a hand or a leg or a thing, you can have a different flying animation of an arm, a leg, or a thing, So, and this can be dynamic. The whole point is that you don't really need to configure anything when you fire up Metanthropes and play Metanthropes, because on the fly it will check, okay, what type of actor am I attacking? I'm attacking an artificial entity. Okay, so it's probably not blood, but it has some kind of oil. So I'm adjusting the particles, the splatter, to be that kind of oil. And maybe if it's damaged already, the oil is slightly blackened. All these things are already there. When we hit the button to activate whatever meta power possession, we have all the data right there, and Foundry provides us with an engine that can take inputs that are constructed on the fly. It's not like you have this animation and it plays and We're just going to correctly place it to the token. As John demonstrated, when you move around tokens, it knows where it
I
needs to
wanted
send the
also to
projectile. It knows.
also mentioned it. This one that is further away than the others. When I activate it, it's gonna send and it's gonna hit the first two, and then we see it flying towards the third. So it's like rockets instead of a lightning bolt. We'll see it like going to the target. So all those little things are gonna be like the immersive side of the VTTs that's gonna upgrade the experience. And Metanthropes role-playing game is all about providing you an amazing and immersive role-playing game experience. So this is what we do here.
And I think
this is what we do around
that
here.
that will be like the first wave of things we can do with the particle engine. The more complicated stuff are bespoke, unique visual effects. So think of it as cinematic things that happen that are pre-scripted, but take advantage of this dynamically sided engine. So let's say for a story reason, you want to create some kind of thing that happens, and I don't want to spoil some of the stories, but I can think of a lot of elements in the upcoming anthologies that could definitely improve if they have a bespoke visual effect that you can trigger as a narrator. So we will provide you with all the macros when you go through the story of activating those unique bespoke effects. Of course, that will come later. For the first few versions, we're going to focus on supporting and dynamically expanding the types of animations that are available. So if you John, for example, if you use a possession, you're going to see that right now the icon changes. And if you
work with
do
strike
a different damage type than elemental damage type, you will also see that the particles that spawn have different color, because it's a different material, let's say, versus elemental type of damage. So these things are already here. These things are already integrated. Once you get your hands on the new build, you can enable the alpha settings, alpha testing of new settings, and then when you activate the meta powers that directly deal damage, they will also come with a more fleshed out version of what John is demoing right now on the screen. But the idea is to make it so that we create a number of those cool animations and then combine them and mix them on the fly to create really unique effects every time you activate a meta power. It's gonna feel like it's gonna be something cool. And definitely when you hit like a critical success or many levels of success, you're gonna get even cooler visual effects, which is, I think,
wow,
really amazing.
Can't wait for all these things to materialize. So our next stop and all our focus is on releasing in April next month the Nether module. Our aim is to receive as much as possible feedback from every one of you. So the future is bright and glorious. We can't wait to share it with you. So that wraps up today's episode. Can't wait for April. Is it April already? Also, 1st of April is gonna be our 7-year Metanthrope anniversary. It's been 7 years. We're gonna talk about this stuff of the next month after our anniversary, but I think that will be all for now. So thank you everyone for watching, and as always, stay legit
and stay meta.